Andrew Lost on Earth. By J. C. Greenburg. Andrew's World. Andrew Double. Andrew is 10 years old, but he's been inventing things since he was 4. Andrew's inventions usually get him into trouble, like the time he shrunk himself, his cousin Judy, and his little silver robot Thud smaller than a mosquito's toe with the atom sucker. Today, a problem with a snack has sent Andrew traveling through time to the beginning of planet Earth. Judy Double. Judy is Andrew's 13-year-old cousin. At 9 o'clock, she got into her pajamas in a cabin in Montana. A few minutes later, there wasn't a cabin, there wasn't a Montana, there wasn't even an Earth. According to Judy, it's all Andrew's fault. Thud. The handy ultra-digital detective. Thud is a super smart robot and Andrew's best friend. He has helped to save Andrew and Judy from deadly octopuses, killer jellyfish, and the giant squid. But can he save them from an asteroid the size of the planet Mars? Uncle Al. Andrew and Judy's uncle is a top-secret scientist. He invented Thud and the Timetron time travel machine. But before he finished the Timetron, he was kidnapped and hidden in one of Earth's ice ages. Will Andrew and Judy be able to find him? The Timetron, it looks like a giant cooking timer, but it's really a time travel machine. Too bad Uncle Al got kidnapped before he could make sure it worked. Dr. Crontox. The mysterious Dr. Crontox invented a time machine, to the TikTok's box. He's used it to kidnap Uncle Al and another scientist. But why? Beeper Jones say hello to Dr. Crontox's nephew. He likes to collect monster cockroaches and Jugunda centipedes. Other than that, he's not a bad kid. 1. Buried alive. KRAKUKKUKKUKKUKKK. Holy moly, hollered Andrew Double. It feels like an earthquake. Another giant asteroid smashed into the Timetron time machine. Andrew and his 13-year-old cousin Judy bounced in their big blue seat. Just 2 hours ago, they'd been pigging out on pizza with their Uncle Al. Now asteroids were burying them inside the very beginning of planet Earth. In front of Andrew and Judy's chair was a control panel. Its digital display flashed. 4,500,000,000 years ago. Judy looked up through the clear dome of the Timetron. All she could see was solid rock. Cheese Louise, she grumped. These stupid asteroids and comets stick together like snowballs. We're trapped inside tons of rock, meep. Asteroids and comets make planets, squeaked a voice from Andrew's pajama pocket. It was Thud, Andrew's little silver robot and best friend. Bong. That is right, little one, said the Timetron. Without asteroids, there would be no solid Earth, no air. Without comets, there would be little water. Oh, clap a lid on it, guys, said Judy. All I want to know is how to get out of here. She banged the heel of her slipper on the fast-forward button. When it worked, the fast-forward button moved the Timetron forward through time. Flack! 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 But there were no balls of green light. The Timetron's fast fins wouldn't spin. Bong. I am afraid the fast fins are stuck in stone, said the Timetron. If the fast fins cannot spin, we cannot move forward in time. Judy pushed her face close to Andrew's. This is all your fault, bug brain, she said. If you hadn't gotten your stupid fudge stuck on the fastback button, we wouldn't have traveled to the beginning of the universe in our pajamas, meep. Drood. Booty. Look, squeaked Thud. He was pointing to the Super Peeper. The Super Peeper looked like a pumpkin-sized snow globe. It could show what was happening anywhere in the universe. Right now, it showed a sky full of asteroids. Speeding toward baby Earth. Kiruk! Crack! Splursh! Through the dome of the timatron, Andrew watched the rock around them start to glow and melt and swirl. Yowzers, yelled Andrew. Yeeks, hollered Judy. Meep. Giant asteroids hit hard, 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 said Thud. Make heat. Clapping hands make little heat. Smashing asteroids make big heat. Rocks melt. Thud pointed to the much bigger Earth that now appeared in the Super Peeper. Meep. Baby Earth getting born. Getting big. Judy rolled her eyes. I wish the Earth would get born somewhere else, she said. Suddenly the timatron was tumbling along a river of flaming rock. Bong. We are following the molecules of Montana again, said the timatron. Montana was where they had started. The timatron could move through time. But the only way it could move through space was to follow the molecules of Montana. Andrew squinted up at the dome of the timatron. He was looking for cracks and bubbles. Will the timatron start to melt like when we were close to the beginning of the universe? He asked. Bong. The temperature was 1 billion degrees then, Master Andrew, said the timatron. This rock soup is only 2,000 degrees. Andrew's eyebrows went up. Judy, try the fast-forward button again, he said. Now that the rocks are soft, maybe the fast fins can move. Judy slammed the fast-forward button again. Flack! 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 HNNNN. HNNNN. Woohoo! The timatron jiggled. Sparks of bright green light flashed outside the dome. Green sparks, said Andrew. The fast fins are working. BLA-FUM. Bong. We are off, said the timatron. BUH snurk. The green sparks disappeared. Bong. Oh dear, said the timatron. We've moved only 10,000 years ahead. They were still in the gushing rock river. It was carrying them toward the surface of baby Earth. Look, said Andrew, pointing to the top of the timatron's dome. I see stars. 2, splursh. The timatron bobbed to the surface of an ocean of fiery melted rock. Above, the night sky sparkled with stars. Cheese Louise, cried Judy. Where's the land? Where's the water? Andrew peered out through the dome. This sure is a weird place, he said. But it's too dark to see much. There isn't even any moonlight, meep. Earth like this everywhere, said Thud. Big ball of melted rock, bong. And there is no moonlight, said the timatron, because there is no moon. Sure, said Andrew. On some nights you can't see the moon at all, bong. Pardon me, Master Andrew, said the timatron. The moon does not yet exist. I bet I know what you're going to say, said Judy. One of these giant asteroids starts buzzing around the Earth and that's how we get a moon. No op, no op, no op, said Thud. Moon happen different way. How? Asked Judy. Meep. Woody not want to know, said Thud. Oh yes, I do, said Judy. Spit it out, Thud, meep. Moon happen when planet big as Mars crash into Earth, said Thud. Lots of stuff splash into space. Make moon. Judy shivered. What if this thing crashes on us? Out of the corner of his eye, Andrew saw a flash. A bright ball of light was streaking across the sky. I hope that's not the Mars-sized thing, cried Judy. No op, no op, no op, said Thud. Comet coming now. Big ball of ice. Suddenly the purple button in the middle of Thud's chest began to blink. Meep. Unkai owl, said Thud. Thud's purple button popped open and a purple beam zoomed out. At the end of the beam was something furry. A flap of fur fell away. Underneath was the familiar face of Uncle Al. He was Andrew and Judy's uncle, a top-secret scientist. He'd made Thud and the Timatron. "Hi, guys," said Uncle Al. His teeth were chattering, but he was smiling. "Uncle Al," shouted Judy. "Hiya, Unkai," squeaked Thud. "Jumping gerbils," said Andrew. "You really are in an ice age." "You've got that right, Andrew," said Uncle Al. "I'm still in Montana. But I'm located sometime between 11,000 and 20,000 years ago." "But where are you?" asked Uncle Al. "Safe inside the cabin, I hope." When Uncle Al contacted Andrew and Judy by hologram helper, he could hear them, but he couldn't see them. Not exactly," said Andrew. "We're in the Timatron, floating in an ocean of boiling rock." Uncle Al's frosty eyebrows went up. "Walt Disney on a walnut waffle," he said. "What happened?" "Thud figured out that Dr. Krontox kidnapped you and took you to an ice age," said Andrew. "We had to take the Timatron to rescue you." Uncle Al shook his head. "It's great that you wanted to help me," he said. "But time travel is too dangerous. I'd rather be stuck in an ice age than put my favorite kids at risk." "Uncle Al," said Judy. The last purple button message came from Dr. Krontox. Uncle Al frowned. "That doesn't surprise me," he said. Krontox grabbed one of my old hologram helpers, Bong. "Professor Double," said the Timatron. "There is trouble with the fast-forward button." Uncle Al brushed off an icicle hanging from his nose. "Check the tachyon tubes and dash goo. Does the Uncle Al hologram look like it was dripping away?" Uncle Al's voice was fading. "Uncle Al," yelled Judy. "You're disappearing." "It's the hologram helper batteries," said Uncle Al in a voice they could hardly hear. "They don't work well in the cold. Now I have something very important to tell you. Dr. Krontox has hidden Professor Wild. Guzz, and he's planning to." Guzz. Before Uncle Al could finish his thought, his hologram completely dripped away. 3. Krezazara. "He's gone," cried Judy. "Meep." "Look," said Thud, pointing to a bright dot streaking through the night sky. Judy squinted to see it. "A shooting star," she said. "We should make a wish," said Andrew. Bong. "We should wish to be somewhere else," said the Timatron. "That is no shooting star. That is the planet that will smash into Earth and create the moon." "Oh," said Andrew. "What can we do?" asked Judy. Bong. "Nothing," said the Timatron. "Unless the fast-forward button begins to work very soon." Judy grabbed her slipper and slammed the button. Flack! 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 Nothing happened. The sky was turning red. The tiny dot was growing into a globe of orange light. Glowing chunks were falling away from it. Tails of fire streaked across the sky as it sped closer. "What will happen to us?" asked Judy. Bong. "That depends on how strong strontium is," said the Timatron. Strontium was what the Timatron was made of. Meep. "Purple button blinking," said Thud. Thud's purple button popped open and a purple beam zoomed out. But there was no one at the end of it. Tick, tock, tick, tock. "It's Dr. Krontox again," said Judy. A whispery voice began to speak. My oh my oh my oh my. What's that coming from the sky? Is it huge and dark and lumpy? Does it make you awfully jumpy? What will happen when it crashes? Will the doubles turn to ashes? What is to become of you? What you don't know, I surely do. Ha! 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 Tick, tock, tick, tock. The fiery planet was so close that it filled the whole sky. The sea of molten rock churned and turned into waves. Bong. Put in your earplugs, little doubles, said the Timatron. 2 pairs of earplugs dangled from a door in the control panel. Andrew and Judy stuck them in their ears. Then Andrew squeezed his eyes shut and waited. Cruises-a humongous crash shook every bone in Andrew's body. His stomach fluttered up as the crash blasted them down and down. When Andrew opened his eyes, flaming rock was zooming by the dome of the Timatron. Andrew pulled out his earplugs. So did Judy. We must be miles deep inside the earth, said Judy. Ahead of the Timatron was a glow as bright and yellow as the sun. Meep. Core of Earth, said Thud. Like core of apple. Earth core is big lump of iron. Earth core hot, hot, hot. 7,000 degrees. Surface of sun only 5,000 degrees, bong. Do not look, little doubles, said the Timatron. The brightness will hurt your eyes. Andrew and Judy turned away. It was getting awfully hot and sweaty inside the Timatron. Judy fanned herself with her hand. Andrew wiped his face with his pajama sleeve. Bong. We are almost past the core of the earth now, said the Timatron. We are slowing down. We're buried so deep, said Judy. How are we going to get out of here, bong? Ah, sighed the Timatron. All we can do is follow the atoms of Montana. Perhaps the atoms will move up, but it could take millions of years. Who? Judy looked at Andrew. What's that? She asked. It's coming from below, said Andrew. We'd better go down and see. 4. Don't eat the passengers. Who? Andrew and Judy unbuckled their seat belts. Andrew pulled up the trapdoor in the floor. Then he and Judy climbed down the rope ladder to the lower compartment. It was dark, but Andrew found the light switch and turned it on. Hoo. When Andrew turned toward the fuel tank, he was nose to beak with a small, feathery face. Its yellow eyes stared at him fiercely. An owl, said Judy. It's so tiny and cute. But how could it have gotten in here, Meep? I'll get into Unkai's lab, said Thud. Maybe follow prey animal into Timatron. A mouse or something? Judy said. Chee. A chirpy sound was coming from a tangle of black tachyon tubes on the floor. Andrew and Judy scrambled over to the tubes. Look, said Thud. Inside a broken black tube was a tiny, furry nose. Meep. Shrew, Thud said. Judy leaned down to see. The nose looked like a mouse nose, but longer and pointier. Cheese Louise, said Judy. It's munching on a tachyon tube. That's why we're losing fuel. Judy glanced back at the owl. It hadn't moved, but it was staring at that twitching nose. Humph, said Judy. I know owls eat things like mice and shrews. But there are only 4 creatures alive on Earth right now. Nobody is going to be eating anybody. Andrew nodded. We need to get the shrew out of the tube, he said. Then we've got to fix the tube before we lose any more fuel. Suddenly the pointy nose disappeared into the tube. Oh, said Andrew. He put his foot on the tube behind the shrew to keep it from moving back. Judy cupped her hands in front of the tube. The shrew crept out, wobbled, and fell over into Judy's hands. "Oh no," said Judy. "I think it fainted. I'll take it upstairs." While Judy climbed into the upper compartment, Andrew studied the hole in the tube. "Is there any tape around here?" he asked. Bong. "No, Master Andrew," said the Timatron. Professor Double was kidnapped before he could stock the Timatron with tools and supplies. Andrew scratched his head. Then he noticed something small and dark and round on the floor beneath the owl. "I guess you can't expect owls to use litter boxes," Andrew said. "Meep not owl poop," said Thud. "Owl pellet. Owl not got teeth. Owl eat whole animal. Owl stomach digest meat. Then stomach make bones and fur into lump called pellet. Owl throw up pellet, spit it out." Andrew rolled the owl pellet along the floor with his slipper. It was hard and dry. He tapped it and it fell apart. Inside were little bones and a tiny skull. "Meep. Mouse bones," said Thud. Andrew examined the tachyon tube. He murmured. "This tube is made out of soft stuff. I wonder." Andrew put one end of the broken tube inside the other. Then he pushed little bones through both parts to hold them together. Andrew climbed the ladder up to the top compartment. It felt cooler now. Outside, the melted rock had gone from yellow to reddish-orange. Judy's bathrobe was piled on the floor next to the chair. In the middle of the bathrobe was the shrew, curled into a ball. "I think he's okay," said Judy.